comes to legendary punk icons, you gotta know the name Jello Biafra. He made his name as lead singer of the Dead Kennedys.
I'm Governor Ronald Reagan.
A hardcore band that mixed shocking lyrics with satirical criticism of the politics during Ronald Reagan's era. Jello also co-founded an influential punk record label, Alternative Tentacles, which for many years included Canadian punk band No Means No. And get this, in 1979, Jello even ran for mayor of San Francisco. His catchphrase, "There's always room for Jello," caught on, and he ended up fourth, losing to current U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein. By the mid-'80s, Jello moved on to the art of spoken word, and he continues to express himself politically, whether it's protesting the World Trade Organization like he did in Seattle in '99, or through his music. His new band, Jello Biafra and the Guantanamo School of Medicine, just released their debut album. It's called The Audacity of Hype.
Everybody, Jello Biafra. Nice to see you, man. How are you? All right. Taking it well?
I missed that one.
Yeah. Your whole life, man.
People clap too loud. I didn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, I'm just saying hello.
No applause. Save it for someone who needs it.
Dude, your record's called The Audacity of Hype. Obviously, Obama and The Audacity of Hope.
Well, he did win all these advertising awards for that, beating out Disney and Walmart and all the usual suspects. They thought it was the best campaign of the year, and sure enough, it worked.
Yeah, and then since then, there's been some gaps, I think, for a lot of people.
Well, I at least had some audacity to hope, too. I didn't vote for him. I knew his voting record in the Senate a little too well. Even somebody as cynical as I am is a little bit disappointed and a little bit frightened at how many out-and-out crimes of the Bush-Cheney regime are still being allowed to go on.
I mean, well, you're banned, right? You're dealing with Guantanamo right in the name.
Oh, that's the reason I chose the name, was I don't want people to forget that. We play in Europe, that's a very front-burner issue of, when are you going to do something about these war criminals? When are you going to have your Nuremberg trials? This is the stuff we fought the Nazis for, to stop. And in America, all you get on the media every night, of course, instead is, what is Tiger Woods' penis doing today? Over and over and over again. And
I'm pretty sure we know what. We just don't know where.
There was a CBS honcho who even called it the biggest event since the inauguration of Obama was going to be Tiger Woods swinging a golf club in public again. I'm thinking, where is Al-Qaeda when you need them?
It's interesting.
Well, I got to say this about Woods, though. I do have one thought on Woods. Yeah. You compare, he's the most famous, most recognized guy in the world. Compare what he's done with that platform, or what he and Michael Jordan have done with that platform, to what Muhammad Ali did when he was that guy. And the other two look a little bit disgraceful, don't they?
But no athlete has been able to do really what Ali was able to do. And I think Ali paid dearly for it, right?
He also tried, he had convictions, he had guts, and it wasn't all about American Express commercials and, hey, can I have a hat with my own logo on it for another 20 million bucks, whatever.
It's fun, man, because if with your mindset, there's lots to talk about, and it doesn't change, does it? Like, the world seems to get better on some terms, but then there's always something happening beneath the surface. Did you ever think that at this stage of your life you'd still be having to do this stuff and talking about this sort of thing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as Americans behave the way they do, I'm never going to run out of material.
Well, I mean,
there's even a song at the end of the album that kind of swings things the other direction, called I Won't Give Up, saying, look, you're getting your hearts broken again, but does that mean we give up now and just update our Facebook every night and call it a life? Or should we not be getting quieter but getting louder right now, because this time it might get through?
Is that one of the reasons you decided to go back on the road like this with the band?
Well, I'd always wanted to. It just never quite happened. Adventures good and bad, including the little side trip to Quebec where we met and all.
Yeah, the last time I think I saw you, you pulled me out of a tear gas and you poured water in my eyes, so thank you for that.
Did it get it out, or did it go wash it in?
No, it actually... It was one of the most bizarre, tender moments of my career because when we worked at Much Music, they actually aired it. It was you pouring water in my eyes and me pouring water in your eyes. It was like, who are these guys? What are we doing? It was.
Well, you can't be remembering that right, because that stuff they were using, and it was not just pepper spray. There was a Canadian military veteran who was with me who knew his gases and said, this is not just the riot gas. They're using stuff that's normally used for war, and the particles could stick to you. Yeah, well, so if you didn't have goggles on, I poured water on you, it would go straight in your eyes, and you'd be rolling around gagging on the ground.
Oh, and I did.
Which is what eventually, and that eventually happened to me, too. Into a storefront I went when I just negligently did it and a little bit trickled through. And I can just imagine what it was like to actually get that full force straight into your lungs. It was. I mean, I was blowing weird colored stuff out of myself for 6 months after that.
And you know, you went through the real beginning of that fight in the modern era in Seattle. Seattle was a really interesting ride. It was hard to imagine how long ago Seattle really was.
Well, it launched an anti-corporate movement and people questioning, you know, whether it was really good to have nothing but Starbucks everywhere and drink nothing but, or eat nothing but Frankenfood processed by the same people over and over and over again. And it was a beginning. It kind of got a little bit sidetracked by Bush's crazy wars that Canada has been complicit in to this day, of course.
In one of them, yeah.
But it's still there, and I think a lot of people are a lot more conscious about what they buy, and that's what I try to stress, both in the I Won't Give Up song at the end and in more detail in the spoken word shows, is look, you want to change stuff, you don't have to wait until critical mass hits and you go get your head cracked by the cops or they go crazy with poison gas like they did in Quebec City, but or just sit up all night with people arguing about 9/11 conspiracies and anarchy. No, you don't have to do that. You can do stuff in your own life. Just make a vow to yourself, if you so desire, I'm not cooperating with the corporate regime anymore. They can't have me, and they can't have my money, they can't have my time. I mean, some people have to work for them anyway, of course, but the digital age has ushered in a whole new frontier of sabotage on the job. And the example I use as far as just disengaging from you putting so much of your money in the wrong place, it's such an easy one, is that I stopped eating at McDonald's probably in 1979. And people go, oh, yay, oh, that's so courageous. I'm going, how could that possibly be courageous when McDonald's sucks so much?
That means,
and then I think
you missed the pizza when they had the McDonald's pizza phase. You missed that.
Yeah, well, I suffered. The one I love to provoke people up here is McDonald's. Yeah, but this can go further. It's like drugs or tattoos. The more you do it, the more you want to do it. Shop at your independent stores, especially important when buying music or books or something, because the independents are dying, dropping like flies, and you don't want anybody from Walmart to Borders deciding what everybody reads and what everybody listens to. And then I say, well, you know, does Coca-Cola taste as good as it did when you were a kid? And for that matter, when was the last time you had good coffee or a good donut at Tim Hortons?
Well, what do you...
And then people in Canada think this is some kind of insult to Canada's national pride. And it's like, hey, wait a minute. You're not pledging allegiance to Canada or God save the Queen. You're saying God save Tim Hortons, and you've fallen for this great corporate myth.
So, I mean, obviously you get to go back on the road, and you've done the spoken word thing for a while. To do this, you know, in song form must be a lot of fun. I heard you're doing Dead Kennedy songs as well.
Well, we're doing a little bit of that. I mean, this is a new band. We're here to play our songs. Yeah. And to me, since I go back so far in punk, I have to tell people, hey, wait a minute, this isn't some old school punk. We didn't believe in schools then. We were blowing up the school. And because there weren't all these other genre-fied, cookie-cutter-fied punk styles to copy, we drew from everything else. Right. And it was more wide open. And I've tried to keep that open instead of, oh, is it punk, is it not? I mean, I was a hardcore hippie before I cut my hair off one day on a whim, blasting the Sex Pistols at everybody else in a college dorm, and then put my hair in a bag and nailed it to my door. And suddenly, hey, I'm dangerous again. This is just like when I had long hair in 6th grade. But the point being, I didn't just pick one little stereotype, if you will, that people sometimes mistake for a movement when it's actually fashion, culture, and inspiration for movements, but not a movement itself. I mean, if punk was a movement, what's the prize? What's the eye on the prize? More punk? No, you use that to help out other movements like stopping wars and ending poverty and cleaning up our planet so we don't have tons of dead polar bears and seals washing up on the shore of Miami.
All right, the CD is called The Audacity of Hype. Jello Biafra, everybody.